We will talk about these land reform measures in our country, India. Now we'll just have a look on what are all these land reforms. Knowing that if you look at our farmers or our Indian agriculturists, most of them they are poor. Poverty prevail in this particular sector. There is there is an exploitation for the agriculturist. There is looking at their income level is very low. If you look at their living standard also is very low. So what happened was there is a need to raise the growth, to upgrade this agricultural sector. That means to raise the income level of the farmers, to raise the standard of living, to do away with the exploitation problem that prevail in the agricultural sector. And in order to do that, what the government did, the government introduced all these land reform measures with the objective of improving or bringing in agricultural development in the agricultural sector. So yes, this these land reform measures or the land reforms, they are being implemented, they are being introduced in order to raise the agricultural production, in order to increase the level of income, the living standards of the people, and um, to do with the exploitation problem, and to free our farmers from the so many problems that they that they are facing. And in short, land reforms are being introduced to bring about a transformation or to bring about development in the rural sectors. Further, let's have a look. What are the objectives of these different land reform measures in India? One of the objectives of this land reform measure, it is the rational use of resources. Okay, so if we talk about the resources, be it the natural resources, be it the financial resources, or whatever resources that we have in our country, their supply is very much limited. Okay, if you look at if we talk about the supply of land, okay, it's its supply, it's something that can be increased. So if we have a short supply of land, whatever amount that we have in our country, it should be utilized to the maximum capacity. That means we should make the best use of whatever plot of land that is available in our country, India. That is the one of the objective. The second objective is to raise the production level. Yes, even though seeing our country, India, being an agricultural country, what we expect is that production coming from the agricultural sector is expected to be very high, very good. But what actually happened is that our government do really have to rely a lot on the imports of food grains or of food items. This means that whatever is coming out from the agricultural sector is very small or is very low. Therefore, through the implementation or through the introduction of these land reforms, the government hope to raise the output coming from the agricultural sector to a maximum level. The next one is to remove exploitation. Okay. Yes, we learned that most often our agriculturists, they are being exploited. Exploited by whom? They are being exploited by the rich farmers or the rich landlords known as the zamindars. They are being exploited in terms of charging them with a very high rate of rent and so many more. So in order to free our farmers from all these different types of exploitation, the different land reforms are being introduced for that purpose. And the next one, to bring about a social welfare. Social welfare, in a sense, like if you look at our agriculturists, the income level or the distribution of income in the agricultural sector it is not, so to say, equal. Some farmers, the big zamindars, the big landlords, their income is very, very high, is very, very big. Whereas if you look at the poor farmers, okay, majority of our farmers, they are poor and their income is very, very low. So there is a need to bring about an equitable distribution of income in the agricultural sector. So through the different land reform measures, the government also hope to bring about a social justice or social welfare through the equitable distribution of income. Further, through the different land reform measures, it also hope expected to raise the living standards of the people. That means this can be done through improving their income level. And if income level is improved, this will really bring about an improvement in the overall development of the agricultural sector. And finally, the very introduction, the very implementation of these different land reforms, its objective is to achieve a planned development in the entire country, India.